he softened his stance, even though he did say that the day before he basically said that they're going to have to raise rates and probably at a faster clip. And then yesterday he kind of sugarcoated it a little bit by saying he's going to look at the data points to give him an indication of how fast they have to go. So he basically said, watch the numbers, fundamentals that come out every day, and we'll see. So this morning they had a fundamental. They had initial claims came out. They were expecting 195,000, and it came out at 211, over 200, which is, I guess, it's usually a bad thing, but these days a bad number is good for the economy and good for the stocks. You had a rally in the stock market and a rally there in the bond market, as you can see on the chart on the left there. It's a 30-year bond chart. In regards to rollover, definitely going to be next week. Like I said, I didn't think they were going to do it the day before unemployment. So rollover to the June contract is probably going to be next week, probably on Thursday. That's when they usually do it. So we'll worry about that on next week. They already rolled over the June contract. We're trading the June contract in the bond market already. Yeah. Okay. So that's where we're at. We're kind of going to, obviously on tomorrow's unemployment number is one of those data points that the market will be focused in on to help determine, what the direction of interest rates are going to be and what direction of the market is going to be focused in on. The market yesterday, after his 2 days of conversation with the Congress, basically has priced in a 50 basis point rise, or at least there's a 77% chance of a 50 basis point rise in the next meeting as we slowly come down here to the 94 area, which is going to be our first little area of support that we have. I scared it away. Back up here to our pivot. Anyway, so that's where we're at as far as the bigger picture is concerned. For the most part, we're holding here. We got down the last 2 days. The 3,900 got down to 70 area there, and then pop back up, coming back up here to 4,000. I don't know. It depends on tomorrow's number. I think they're expecting 215,000 on the non-farm payrolls. But what you should actually, if you're going to be trading at 7:30, you should be actually looking at the revision from last month as a indication of what might if they. Because last month was such a big blowout number that it doesn't even make any sense, right? 500 and some thousand, so we'll see if they revise the number from last month, and we'll see how the market reacts to unemployment when we open up here an hour later. So that's tomorrow, but again, the fact that the market is going to be waiting for those data points to help it move one way or the other. That might be a little bit slow. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if they're going to react strictly to the non-farm payrolls number. The JOLTS number was also yesterday's JOLTS number was the number of jobs openings. As we quickly come up here to these highs, interim highs here, we're looking at the 10 area as our next level of resistance. The JOLTS said that there were like 10 million jobs, which was less than what they were expecting. So I guess that's another bad number, first bad number for employment for a while. Today, there's really nothing else coming out here. Initial claims already came out, so that's about it as far as big numbers are concerned. They're going to wait till tomorrow's unemployment number. We'll see. On our farm payrolls number, like I said, you have to trade it with a grain of salt there, and watch the revision from last month to see if there's going to be which way the market's going. To remember, bad news is good news, right? As we come up here to our 10 area now, see what it wants to do up here, maybe. Again, depending on how you scale in, everybody scales in a little bit differently, right? So, if you are scaling at all, if not, that's fine too. Everybody here trades a little bit differently, and so there's not one right or wrong way of scaling, and not one right or wrong way of getting in and out of trades. It all depends on how the market reaction is at those levels, and how you entered and how you manage them. Really, that's about it. In either case, no matter what, you're always like keeping your stops in place and managing those stops properly, so that we can always, if we're wrong, look at the next opportunity when it presents itself, and not get carried away with holding on to a bad trade. As we're coming up here, testing our 10 area. Right, working this 10 area here, giving us a quick 2 points there. If you got in at 9, now giving us 3 quick points here. Again, we're scaling in around an area, so we got right up to 9.5 there. If you even scaled in at the 9.5 level, you should have gotten filled. Again, depending on how you're scaling in, how you're managing those trades. As some of you know that if you've been here a while, I'm scaling in a point above, below, and the level itself. So I got in there at 9 and working this order as it rotates here to the downside a little bit. You take some profits off, and then you manage whatever you have left over and try to take a little bit more than 2 or 3 points out of the trade. So nice rotation there against our first resistance area there at 10. And if you look at the chat box, you will see the levels there printed for you. And those levels are good for the whole day. You can tweak those a little bit. We always can tweak them depending on the price action. We can adjust those. We can add to those. There's not those are not etched in stone, and nothing here. Now, when you're trading, nothing's etched. There's rules that you should follow, disciplines that you should follow, and then adjust according to the price action. And that's what we try to do here. So nice rotation there against our first resistance area there at 10. Again, if you got to 10, if you had 10, you didn't get filled because 950 is the high. But like I said, we scale in around the area. So hopefully some of you were able to jump in and take advantage of the 10 area. If you're aggressive, 02 support, I'd look at the 94 as our next good support area, at least for the time being. Again, levels, it can be used all day, so that's a good thing. So no other fundamentals going to be released this afternoon or today during work, during trading hours. So pretty much quiet and not surprising, as they kind of wait for the release of the unemployment number tomorrow, which has always been, will continue to be a big market mover, something that the market looks at. Now, as far as trading is concerned, sometimes the trade is really great, sometimes it's terrible. We never know, right? Just never know. But we're not here to know. We're just here to trade the volatility and whatever that volatility may be. So obviously, remember, if you had the 10, it's not as a safe area right now. I mean, obviously, you have to understand that we got pretty much a nice rotation against our 10 area when we went down off of it. If you did take it, maybe you took the upper end of the range there, and upper end of the range meaning the 11. But even though if you did take the 10, you got a nice rotation here off of that level as well. So nice little area of resistance up there. Worked initially, worked on the second rotation to it. So hopefully, again, maybe you adjusted to the upper end of the range once the lower end of the range got filled, and they get up to 11. So depending on your risk tolerance and how you trade, maybe you kept the trade and stayed with the 11s and got a nice rotation off of it. And if you did keep the 10s, a nice rotation off of that as well. Anybody have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. At least we had a good opportunity early on. Lately, it's been very kind of slow in the morning. So, but at least we got a quick opportunity right off the bat here. All right, nice rotation there against that 10 level. Yeah, we'll post post the levels on the chat for those of you who might have missed it. And we'll get those levels up there for you. There they are. And again, if you missed the levels, there are the levels that we gave out this morning. Pivot there is 40.02, and the first level resistance up there is the 10, and we got triggered. Our level got triggered, and we had a nice rotation off of it. Again, we can use the levels for the whole day, and they're good even though we focus on the morning hours because we get good price action opportunities in the morning. The afternoon trade becomes a little bit stickier, less volume traded, moves around kind of for no reason. But if we do extend one way or the other, you can use our levels to give you some opportunities to trade. So those are always there for the opportunities, the setups if you are going to be trading late into the afternoon. Again, we don't have any other numbers coming out this morning, so this trading off of the non-farm payrolls, I'm sorry, the initial claims number, which again was bad, which these days is good. You had a spike yesterday in the 2-year notes over the last 2 days, and the expansion of the yield curve to the negative continues. It's minus 110. That is ridiculous. You're getting over 5% on a 2-year note. tax-free. So you haven't seen those returns in quite a long time. The 10-year is trading around 4%. So, yeah, 10-year note, you can get 4% tax-free, which say 30% tax bracket. Yeah, it's paying over 5% if you really think about it. So, uh, again, those numbers, as far as yields are concerned, haven't been seen since 20 years, right? Since 2007. Before that, right? Definitely, something's going on in the bond market here that is definitely uh, creating this angst in the equity market, and really to not know where we're going to go next. So, all right, again, we continue to rally here a little bit, but that's why we take each day as it comes, and we're not trying to hit home runs. Even if you try to hold a position on during these, you have 30 point rallies in the middle of a break, and almost makes it impossible to try to stay short. I mean, where are your stops going to be, right? Unless your stops are like 50 points or 100 points. Not how most traders work. And if you have stops that are that big, they have a big wallet behind you. Right. So if you're a trader, like an everyday trader, back and forth, you're not putting stops, and that's why it's very difficult to say, okay, the market's going down, I'm going to stick with a short position, or the market's going up, I'm going to stick with a short position or a long position, because the movements are intraday movements, or could be a little bit wild and could normally stop most people out, right? And that's what we should be doing anyway. All right, the market here continues to uptick. We got 18 as our next level that we're going to be focused in on, as you can see there in the chat. That's our next level of resistance that we have. Let's see. Let's see here. As far as any news is concerned to talk about, it's not exciting. It's not exciting. Oh, reports suggest that the WWE wrestling, as we continue to rally, we have 18 as our next level of resistance. Got up here to 16 and change. Wants what did they want? This is how exciting today is. This is what I'm talking about. W wants that are in discussion with state gambling regulators in Colorado and Michigan in an attempt to legalize wagering, even though its matches outcomes are predetermined. Okay. Okay. That's good. All right. Continue to rally here. We got 18 coming up here to 17 now, a little bit above it. 18 is our area that I'm going to be focused in on. That's funny. All right. Going to have betting on wrestling. Made up wrestling. Amazing. All right. Coming up here to 18 area. See what it wants to do up here, and whatever the situation is, you're always keeping your stops in place, right? I work in this 18 area here a little bit. Could be they're done. Could be. Yeah, we're coming up here to 18 now. Again, if you're scaling in, you know, keep your scale in and keep your stop in. Right? That's all we can do. All right, work in this 18 area now. Again, if you don't like the price action, I always tell you can always lessen the risk, get out of some of them. If you're trading multiple contracts, if you don't like the price action around the level, those are always choices that you have, right? So you have that right now as we kind of come back down here to the 18, right? So you do have choices. If you don't like the price action, you can, if you're trading multiple contracts, lessen the risk here a little bit. If that's how you want to handle the trade, or take a little bit of a profit here and then just move and look at the next opportunity. Again, it all depends on how you are trading and how you manage those trades, and everybody here does it differently. As we come down here to the 16 area now, so nice little rotation there. And you should not have gotten stopped, even if you had a 2-point stop. 1975 is the high. So hopefully some of you were able to hang in there with it, and then we're getting a nice little rotation here. Not as good as the 10, but or at least we're getting our 2 points, and then maybe a little bit more. And like I said, you can definitely take some profits off and scale, and take a little bit more than 2 or 3 points on these trades. All right. So nice little rotation here. I would say that if we get down to the 10 there, if we get down there, would be a good place to cover. If a little support area there, if you're a little aggressive. All right. So the 18 area here worked very nicely for us as well. It took a little bit of heat. That one was not as clear cut as the 10 area, but hey, you didn't get stopped out. Well, you should not have gotten stopped out. And even if you took some scratched a couple trades, or even if you scratched the whole trade, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, we're going to have another opportunity. I've always said that some of my best trades have been scratches. I had to work those scratches, but all right, nice rotation there against our 18 area. Like I said, if we can get down to 10, that's where I would like to cover, or have a trailing stop with anything else, and keep, if you have multiple contracts, to keep taking a little bit of profit here every time you get a little bit. Market go your way, take some off. Again, if you're just trading 1 or 2s and you took your profits already, no, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And look for a little support there at 10, and then we'll look at our next level of resistance up at 27. But at least we're getting some opportunities, so we are lucky in that sense. And again, the only position you would have here would be a short against our 18 area as we drift down here a little bit. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. We don't mind questions. And if you look at the chat, we'll repeat the levels again for you. And those are used as a guide to the day. And there are the levels in the chat if you missed them. So we got triggered against our 10. I had a nice rotation against it. Then we got triggered at our 18 here on the upside. I mean, those resistance areas are, sale opportunities, short opportunities. Support levels are buying opportunities. So we believe that the markets don't go straight up or straight down. They straight down. So we're looking for those inflection points to take advantage of the ebbs and flows of the market. That's what we do here on an everyday basis. All right. So that's a nice little trade again. If you're going to stay here short, I would cover anything you got left around the 10 area. So that's the WWE thing. Then the China and United States tensions are on full display this week. The Chinese foreign minister has warned Washington of conflicts and confrontation if it failed to change course in relations with Beijing. While Xi, the leader of China, accused the United States of all-round containment, encirclement, and suppression that has brought unprecedented grave challenges to our nation's development. Whew. Wow, those are big words. Firing back at the remark, U.S. Director of National Intelligence said China remains our unparalleled priority and could leverage its dominant position in key global chain supplies that threaten to cut off foreign countries during a crisis. It comes after the Netherlands agreed to a U.S. request to impose export restrictions on China, limiting the powerful chips and deep lithographs to impose export restrictions. Litho tools, powerful chips and deep lithograph tools of a Dutch company. So they're basically telling them that they can't sell them anymore, these chips to China or buy from them. Wow, they are just like, it's not too bad for them. What they get down to there? They got down to the 11 area here. Or did I get to, let's see, yeah. Again, if you said you got a little support in the 10 area, if you can cover them there, or if you want to, there's a little support area there. If you're a little aggressive, otherwise you're gonna wait for the 3 to 4 area. But I tend to cover any shorts, and if you're a little aggressive, maybe if you wanted to get long, that would be a place where you would want to get long here. But either way, keep your stop in place. So yeah, so China and the United States are the world is messed up right now. The world is really messed up. All right. They bounce off there. What they get down to here? They got right down to 10 and change, 1075. So yeah, we are definitely messed up, this world right now. Nothing good's happening, right? All right, we're just coming back down here to this, coming down here to 11. Uh, got down to 1075 here again. A little support in this area. If you did take it, we get about 15 and a half. Well, should rally a little bit. We'll see. There's no other economic reports coming out this morning. Really nothing to talk about. They're just going to be waiting until tomorrow's number. Okay, they trying to hold this little 10 area. All right, we did say we have a little support there at 10 if you're a little aggressive. And if you did jump in around that area, at least cover your shorts down there. It's a nice little cover. And the market goes back up here and going to retest maybe the highs here. But again, we talked about covering any trades, and if you wanted to get long, that was an area there where you could, we said 10, it got down to the 10 and change. And remember, you're covering them, you're scaling into a level, so even a price action opportunity, you have to scale into it. Because we're not going to be perfect around here, but we have areas that we feel are important and might give us a good opportunity to scalp or at least get a position on. So all we're trying to do most of the time here is try to keep you on the right side of the market and give you an opportunity there to take advantage of these ebbs and flows that might occur off of these inflection points that the market sometimes gives us. Sometimes it's easier than others, right? But then for the most part, though, we're always trying to find these areas of inflection to give us these opportunities. All right, we're just coming back up here, gonna see where it wants to go. And now, again, if you're, yeah, we talked about having a little support there at 10 and wanting to get along there. If you were trying to do that and or cover any shorts in that area. And so if you did cover your shorts and you didn't get along, then we're flat. If you did get along here,